Welcome to Montessori Matters with Blessing, Fort-Ike. Today, I'll be discussing creating an environment of freedom with boundaries. I get requests from people asking how they can create an environment of freedom with boundaries. Also from my interactions with parents, with teachers, I've realized that a lot or some of them try to set boundaries but don't get the required results. Probably because they are not setting the right boundaries or they are not patient enough to wait to see the results. In this video, I will discuss what freedom with boundary entails and how to effectively apply it, how to effectively do it within the classroom and within the home. Freedom with boundary is a Montessori concept that seeks to strike a balance between overstructured environment and a chaotic one. When I say overstructured, what do I mean? It's an environment that is prepared without carrying the child along. Everything is done and carried out by the adult for the child. Why chaotic one is the one that the child is left alone to do whatever he likes. And this is not what freedom in Montessori entails. Freedom in Montessori entails boundaries. So I will say it requires setting clear expectations and being consistent with it. You must be consistent with it. The expectations must be clear and it must be set and you must be clear with it. It also requires providing age-appropriate choices and opportunity for the children to choose from or for the children to carry out. So you are getting the child involved. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying. When you give a child choices, you give a child choices of the things you want, don't include the things you don't want. So I will say the choices should be a sequence of events, not the event himself. Let me explain. Maybe I want my child to bathe, to brush his teeth, to take a nap, and to eat. So I ask the child, what will you want to do first? Will you want to have your bath first before brushing your teeth? Or will you want to brush your teeth first before having your bath? Or will you want to eat first? So let the child lay out the sequence. Let the child make the choice. So by doing that, you are getting the child involved. You are giving the child the freedom to exercise his will. You don't ask the child, will you want to bathe? No. The child will tell you no if the child don't want to bathe. So you don't give the child options of what you don't want. The options you give to the child are the things you want. Let me give you another example. I don't want my children to eat sweets. I would prefer fruits and vegetables. So I give them the option. I want them to exercise their will. I want to give them the freedom to choose. So what do? I say, will you want some bananas or some oranges? So the child chooses between. So it's between sequence of events, not the event himself. So when you give the child options of things you want and things you don't want, you are not setting the right boundaries, so you might not get it right. So I would say for you creating the environment, what do you need to do? The first thing you need to do to create an environment of freedom with boundaries. Boundaries is the rule, is the limit you give to your child in that freedom. So the first thing you do is that you will set the rules and you will communicate it to them, clearly communicated. For the younger ones, this is what you do. You set the rules and you communicate it to them and make sure they understand what you have communicated. For the older ones, you get them involved in creating the rules. You get them involved in creating the boundaries. Boundaries, limits, rules, they're all the same thing. They can be used interchangeably. So just get that. After you've gotten the rules set, is well communicated. The next thing, give them reasons for those rules, for those boundaries. Why are you giving them reasons? You want them to own it. You want them to know why they are carrying out those things. It's very important. Children of these days, they will ask you why. Mommy, why do you want me to do it like this? Mommy, why should it be this way? Some of them will not ask you. Whether they ask or not, give them the reasons why you are giving those rules. Why? It will make them own it. Let me give you an example. Whenever there's a spill, make sure you wipe it off for your safety. That is reason. For the safety of other people within the environment. Don't tell them because I say so, because I have said so, that's what you will do. If you do that, over time, the children they might become rebellious, or some of them will do what we call forced submission. That means they will do it when you are there. When you are not there, they won't do it. And now we can't be with our children all the time, especially as they grow. You cannot be with them all the time. So those rules that you've inculcated, that you have made them to own, those are things they can display. Let me give you an example. A friend of mine asked the child to come to my house. When the child came, after sweeping, I dropped the broom with the tip upside down. The child came to say, Auntie Blessing, why don't you put it on the head? I looked at him like, why? He said, because you don't want the tip to get broken. So whenever you want to keep your broom, put it by the head so that the tips of the broomstick will not get broken. The child gave that, means the child have owned that. So probably either the teacher or the mom must have told him reasons why he should keep why he should keep brooms that way. So he has owned it. Now he's not even doing it, he's not correcting someone. That is the advantage of letting them see reasons why you make those rules and letting them see the benefits of those rules. To them is very important. Another thing you can put into consideration setting an environment of boundary is that you give what I call age-appropriate rules. It's very important, because giving rules that a child cannot carry out is not, you are not helping the child, and you are not helping yourself. Let me give you an example. You cannot expect a 2 years old, a toddler, to sit for too long. So you say you must sit here till after everything, for 3 hours, for 2 hours. No, because it's in the nature of a toddler to run up and down. So telling the child that the rule as we are going out, you are not going to move for the next 3 hours, the next 2 hours, is not an appropriate rule. What you can do is to create an enabling environment for the child to explore, or give the child things to manipulate within those hours. And you say, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. You see that the child will be able to do it. Just telling the child to sit still for those hours is not appropriate. Or let's take a look at teenagers. Telling a teenager not to have mood swing is not appropriate. What you need to do is to educate the teenager how to manage his mood swing. So you say, whenever you are having mood swing, instead of you rubbing it on everybody, these are the steps you need to take to manage it, because it's part of their growth and development to have mood swing. So the next thing I would say when creating an environment of freedom is that you ought to reiterate your boundaries. You ought to reiterate your rules. That means you must say it over and over again. You must repeat it. If they get it, say it. If they don't get it, repeat it. So as you keep doing it, consistency and persistency will make you get the required results. Then for the other ones, breaking the rules after you've reiterated it over and over again, you can highlight appropriate consequences for each rule that is broken. Is very important. So let them know that there are consequences. Sometimes you will outline the consequences to them. It might just be a natural consequence. You don't have to impose any consequence on it. Just say, okay, if you do this, this is what you do. That is cause and effect, introducing it to them. They know that anything they do, there is consequence. Practicing freedom like this, you will raise up children who are healthy, children who can be responsible and independent, whether you are there or not. I believe you've gotten something useful, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and do share with